And so if we look at our wall object here, you can see that we can change the justification. We can also access its sub-objects, so we can access the vertices, which in this case are simply the points here that we use to create our wall. We're not thinking about any of the points actually creating any of this geometry. It's actually more of just a profile. So you could kind of move that around and see how that works. Okay. You can also access the different segments of the wall. So we could access our segments, and any of these that you select, you'll get different options down here in our rollouts. Okay, so if I select maybe this segment over here and I want to add a couple of divisions, I can go ahead and bump those up and say divide, and I'll divide that evenly. Okay, and so let's say that I want to create a vault from basically this point over to this point. So we need some geometry over here. So we'll take this segment first, go ahead and create one division, divide that, and now what we can do is grab this vertex right down here, and we can move this back and forth. And so what we want to do is go into the top view and actually match this up with basically this line right over here. Okay, so we want to go ahead and pull this down. Okay, and so we want to come down right about there. Okay, but now we need to actually convert this into some sort of an editable state, because what we want to do is grab these vertices and kind of pull these up and create an angle in here. So to do this, we need to convert this into an editable poly, but I'd like to keep a copy of these parametric walls in case we need to come in and make any changes with the windows or doors or anything like that, just so that we have a spare copy. And I'll keep that copy in a new layer. So with this wall selected, I'm going to right click on the main toolbar, bring up layers. Okay, and right now we just have a single layer, default layer. So what I'm going to do is, with this selected, go ahead and choose to create a new layer, and we can just call this parametric walls, something like that. Say OK. I want to move the selection to the new layer. So now that's located on this layer, and now we'll go up and clone, create a copy of these walls. In this copy, we're going to actually go to our old layer and add this to the old layer. So now if I go ahead and choose parametric walls, and what I want to do is hit the little I, and that'll actually create the turn off visibility for that. And so what I'm left with is the copy that we just created. Okay, we always have the ability to go back and work with our parametric walls at a later date, because they're saved in that invisible layer. So now we want to create this as an editable poly. So we'll right click on this, say convert to editable poly. And you can see in some of these instances there's been some edges that have been connected up here on some of these holes that we have created. So what this does for us is it allows us to access these vertices like this, and we can get this down into a state where we're a little bit more raw. Now keep in mind, if you go ahead and move the windows or doors around at this point, nothing's going to happen. Those holes are baked into that geometry, so they're not going to be moving around like they did with our parametric walls. But we still have those available if we need them. So at this point, we want to create a vault basically from this line over to this side. So let's go ahead and go into our left-hand view. All right, let's grab these vertices, and that's basically the highest point here. Okay, and so each grid line is about 6 inches. So let's go up maybe about an extra 4 feet or so. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you could go up a little bit higher if you wanted to. But I just want to create a little bit more space in there. Now I want to go ahead and grab these points and just continue along and create a nice straight line there. So bring that one up there, grab those points and bring that angle up there, and then we'll grab this point and bring it up there. So you shouldn't have any vertices down in here at all. They should all be following along with that straight line that we've created. Okay, and you can grab this if you want to continue that line up. Okay, and move that up like that. And so what that gives us is kind of a vault in the ceiling that starts from this point right here, and then it continues up here, and then we've got a regular 8-foot ceiling over the kind of the living area, and then we'll have kind of a sitting area back here and some rugs and the steps going back here. So starting to get this worked out now that we've got the sort of the structure built out. In the next lesson